This video is brought to you by jackofalltradesclothing.com, the #1 retail store for comic book t-shirts. Use the discount code Repzion20 for 20% off on any order of your choosing. Ladies and gentlemen, I am disappointed with America right now. More specifically,
with America because of Sony's actions, which has nothing to do with the government of America in any way. Right.
A giant corporation known as Sony.
Look at how smug he is in this video. I am disappointed in Sony's decision and America's decision on this man. What is wrong with this twerp?
I've always considered corporations to be cowards to begin with. I've never been a fan of big corporations, whether it be film industry or whether it be video game industries like EA.
That's it, EA. That's the only one you could think of because everyone else hates EA. So you hate EA because they're a big corporation, which isn't even a good reason to just hate something.
Nonetheless, if you haven't heard what's been happening, Sony was hacked last week by a bunch of hackers. And these hackers...
by a hacking group. And it was confirmed by the FBI that North Korea sent out these attacks against Sony.
Got a bunch of private information on future movies to come down the line, private email exchanges between big heads up of different companies on movies and films, video games, also.
I woke up like this.
I don't know what it is up with Sony and their very insecure infrastructure.
Insecure. You know, it's not insecure because they had a fucking government send out specific hackers in their country to attack a company's infrastructure. And this just happened to be public. And because you've seen 2 public instances of Sony having this happen to them, it means that they're just not doing anything to try and fix that problem. That sounds like you know a lot about North Korea.
They have set up over at their giant big corporation house, but whatever.
That's how things work. Big corporations have a house for the big corporation because a big corporation is a homeowner and pays taxes like you and me.
Whatever it is, they don't do a very good job of having good security measures.
Right, just, you know, a run-of-the-mill, low-class company like Sony churning out fucking gaming systems, you know, owns a few game companies, you know, little movie companies, and, you know, releases movies every now and then, you know, TV products, you know, shit. They're just small time, you know. They don't know what they're doing with technology. But Repzion, who has trouble working with the live stream functions on YouTube, is going to tell Sony, is going to talk down to Sony about how they treat their security measures. Right.
Nonetheless, today is about, well, Sony taking the film, the interview, out of movie theaters. But I should clarify, what actually happened is, for those of you who don't know, the movie The Interview is a Seth Rogen / James Franco film.
Oh, is it?
It's a comedy, and by means, it is a silly comedy. I saw the movie trailer.
As opposed to a serious comedy.
In the theaters.
In the theaters, as opposed to some hobo live streaming it from fucking hologram or something, you know?
I remember laughing. I, for one, am a big fan of Seth Rogen and James Franco, especially when they do comedies together. I've always enjoyed them. Their comedies are always over the top and crazy, fun entertainment. That is what they are. However...
Okay, your opinion is what they are. Yes.
Due to this recent hacking, information was pulled about there's a scene where I'm going to call him, for the sake of for this video, Kim Bong-un. I know that's not his name, but that's what I'm calling him. This guy, that's...
Oh, are you censoring his name? Oh, do we have a case of a hypocrite here?
The real North Korean dictator. I don't know what is up with their terrible haircuts all the time, but that's him. Anyway,
their terrible haircuts. Dude, do you have no sense of irony or self-awareness about you? You look like you look like a chicken shit right now, you know? Your hair makes you look like a fucking rooster. I don't think you are the man or the man-child to sit there and make fun of somebody else's hairstyle. I mean, look at you. What you do is you take a glob of gel and just like that.
in this film, the interview, they portray Kim Bong-un, and their job is to assassinate him. Now, these hackers, which are supposedly from North Korea, got a hold of...
Which are supposedly from North Korea, according to, undisclosed sources like the FBI and major news outlets like ABC, and people who actually know about the situation. But what do they know? The President of the United States. But, we don't have an official response to this, or we don't really know who did it.
They made a threat by saying that if you release this film in the movie theaters, they're going to perform a 9/11 attack on all the movie theaters that show this. Not only is that threat insane to take on an attack of all movie theater chains in the United States of America, but where is the continuity, Sony? Where is the consistency? Why do you back up and run like a coward because some anonymous threat is made? Not only that, President Obama, and I believe it was the FBI or CIA, I don't remember which one, they made statements that these threats
he doesn't know.
Are empty. These are empty threats. Our national security even talked about this, that there's no threat.
There's no threat after we just confirmed that North Korea hacked into Sony's email infrastructure and their technology database. But, there's the threat is not there. I don't think he understands how concerning it is that a government backed up a hacker group to go out and do this against a fucking business, an evil corporation.
Even Obama said, go to the movies, and yet Sony still...
Obama did not say, go to the movies. He said he wishes... Jesus Christ, USA Today. Are you fucking kidding me? I can't fucking sit here for 2 seconds, click off the side because this is such a poorly fucking laid out design for a website.
Sony's a corporation.
Here we go. A video was playing out of nowhere. Thank you, USA Today. I will make sure to never give you any money at any point in my life. Fucking horrible ass website. Anyway, what Obama said was, we cannot have a society in which some dictators someplace can start imposing censorship here in the United States. Because if that happens here, imagine what it would be if they don't like a news report or documentary. And then he said, imagine if producers and distributors and others started engaging in self-censorship because they don't want to offend the sensibilities of somebody whose sensibilities probably need to be offended. Obama said that? That is the dumbest thing I've ever said. North Korea's sensibilities probably needs to be offended. Did he? I can't believe he said that. That's the dumbest thing I've probably heard him say. That's not who we are. That's not what America's about. Yeah, the United States will act on the cyber attack, but Obama did not go into detail about how, because that's all Obama does pretty much at this point. He says he's going to do something, but he doesn't know how, and he'll never get around to it. But he'll surely say that he'll do something about it. But I mean, I can't believe Obama would say this without considering the situation that Sony is in, where they have a threat against people that are going to consume their products, and the company did the correct thing in not putting their customers at risk, and everyone is chastising them for it. I'm sorry, but you people would turn right around if something did happen to any of those movie theaters, any one of them, even if it was just one. You would say that it's their fault. Doesn't even have to be North Korea. It could be just some vigilante out there that's on North Korea's side that hates America, like in, I don't know, any other Britain person that you see commenting online about America and how they're stupid or something, and go out there and commit an act against one of the movie theaters. It doesn't matter the merit of the threat in this situation because it comes backed up by the government of North Korea. And the business made the decision to not get any worse PR than they already did. Out of all the leaks that they had and the situations that arose from the emails being leaked out. But no, what they should do is just ignore threats against people's lives. Out of my mind. Yeah, I know that you think that North Korea or whatever doesn't back up their claims. But this is a hacker group, as well. And since North Korea hired this hacker group to do this shit, what's to stop them from hiring somebody in America or another country or terrorists somewhere else to go along with these threats? What's to stop him from doing that? If you're sitting there as the Sony CEO, you're going to say, yeah, my First Amendment right, that's what it is. Screw anybody's safety, all right? Fuck that. I got to show this stupid satirical movie that's probably shit. Because Mr. Repzion is obviously fit and mentally stable enough to run a company and know what the decisions they should make. So good on you, Repzion.
Pulls back in fear. But probably in fear because they think more about money and a business decision and how it will hurt their PR. In fact, Yes.
Not showing and selling a product that they spent, $50 million on? Millions of dollars. They just lost all of it because they can't show this. But they're concerned about the money. What? What are you talking about? Are you thinking? Are you retarded?
Doing this, Sony, hurts your PR more than it would by just...
Yeah, somebody died because somebody placed a threat against Sony if they released a movie, and they're kind of worried about that. Fuck Sony for thinking that way, for thinking of the safety of their customers. Wow.
Going ahead and releasing the film. I guarantee you that Seth Rogen and James Franco probably had no idea it was going to come to this, their film not being...
Really? They made a movie about the North Korea dictator, and they didn't think something like this might have happened? That would be pretty naive of them.
Showing movie theaters. However, I must note that a Texas movie theater is showing the film Team America, which if you haven't seen, which is a hilarious comedy. It's rated R, and it portrays Team America team with all these little puppets. It portrays Kim Bong-un as the terrible, funny, ridiculous, morbid dictator that he really is. So kudos to that movie theater in Texas, which is replacing the interview with that film just to spite and mock Sony for their stupid...
I don't think it was mocking Sony, otherwise they would be as retarded as you, Repzion. Probably more to mock North Korea's censorship, because Sony wanted to show the movie, you idiot. They are losing money out of this. You are retarded.
Decision. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, this has been years upon years.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you right now how fucking retarded I am. Sony is trying to gain more money by not showing a movie that they spent $50 million on. Ladies and gentlemen.
The last film, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was pulled from the movie theaters or wasn't shown was, I think it was a 1940s film depicting, I think it was like Hitler or something. I'm talking off the top of my head, I may be incorrect. But it has been...
You're incorrect.
...years since a film has been pulled out of the movie theaters. But what's more shocking is that Sony was planning on releasing this, and then when the threats were made, the movie theaters backed out and said, we don't want to show this. So I think it's more of an issue with the actual movie theater corporations not wanting to show this movie, rather than
the movie corporations. Why didn't you know that it would be Sony? Are you just substituting words because you're trying to sound smart? Ladies and gentlemen!
Actually, Sony itself, because let's be honest, Sony's pulling back because some large movie theater chains aren't going to show it. So
oh, now he wants to mention that little tidbit of how before Sony even made a decision on this matter, tons of major movie theaters around the country pulled the movie. So yeah, well, it's all Sony's fault.
That's going to be a massive, I would say, decrease in sales most likely for the film, even if it showed them in smaller movie theaters. But what I can say is it's probably going to be on the Pirate Bay or kickasstorrents.com, and I will be downloading it, because if Sony...
Okay. I care.
If you want to backpedal in smaller movie theaters, you won't even give them the chance to show the film in smaller movie theaters, by all means, I'm going to torrent the shit out of that movie. And let's be honest...
Sony, if you are out there, and you just happen, one of your employees just happens to watch my video, which probably isn't happening, but I am praying to a God that I don't believe in right now, okay? As an atheist, I will be converted to Christianity if my prayer is answered right now. Please, Sony, sue Mr. Repzion. Please, God. You will gain PR. I promise you, I will do everything in my power to give you positive PR out of this situation. I got a friend who's a lawyer. He can make shit happen, okay, to give you better PR. I don't know what it will take, but I will get somebody to blow you. I don't know what it will take, but I will go to the extremes if you do this. Please. Please, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow reptiles, this is crazy. The fact that these anonymous threats of
anonymous threats from the North Korean government.
Attack all
the anonymous North Korean government
throughout the United States for every movie theater that shows this is not only an act of cowardice, but it goes...
Yes, because they would probably be threatened with legal action if they showed a movie against the corporation's will that owns the movie. I don't see how that transaction would go through. Like, these small theaters are going to show the movie, get ticket sales from the movie, then give the money to Sony, even though they're rebelling against them, even though Sony is directly telling them not to show the movie. And the ramifications of that action of the small movie theater for doing that. Like, this kid, right, lives in a sheltered world, in a small little bubble where only white people exist, and everything is just catered to him, you know.
I want to see the movie. Why can't I see the movie? I want to see Kim Bong-un. I want to see him shot in the face. Oh, God.
To show that these corporations don't really even care about a freedom of expression or freedom...
They don't care about people possibly getting killed, being threatened by North Korea, you know. They just want to show the movie for profit.
To make a film, much less it completely destroys any line of reasoning within comedy, humor. Humor is vital for you and me. You know,
What? Are you just pulling this out of your ass?
Comedy is important for everyone, okay? Better than all the other genres combined, okay? Yes. It's vital to our infrastructure of our body, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
It doesn't matter if you like dark humor or not, or offensive humor. Humor can help people survive in the darkest of times. It doesn't matter how stereotypical or racist or sexist that humor may be. If it makes you laugh, it can help you in certain situations. That's why I'm not against comedy. That's why if someone wants to make a rape joke, although I personally don't make it, people are more than welcome to make that rape joke. because humor is so vitally important for our humanity.
Repzion's stupid. I'm sorry, dude. This guy's retarded. Comedy is vital to our humanity. Right. You got me, man.
Humor and seeing things in the dark side of dark situations can help people. Whether or not you agree with me, I don't care. The fact is,
I don't care, but Sony, you better care about my opinion because it's important. I want to see the movie.
I believe, and for these movie theaters,
Ladies and gentlemen,
cowardice and Sony to pull back and say we're too afraid to do this is an act of cowardice. This is how these rich corporations
That's what it is.
act. I wonder how the CIA.
A rich corporation cares about people's safety, loses money in the process, gains bad PR.
oh, that's the wrong move. You should have shown the movie.
FBI would actually respond to these types of terrorist actions or anonymous terrorist threats. By these corporations responding this way towards anonymous threats, it shows control to these other nations in the world that just by making.
No, a business reacting in that way does not correlate to countries reacting towards threats from North Korea. It's a totally different situation. Corporations have PR to deal with, have liability towards people's lives. You have no idea the type of fucking shit that a corporation would go through if one person died during the showing of that movie. You have no idea what kind of shit they would have to go through. The legal ramifications, the fucking lawsuits that would come from this, the horrible PR they would get. No. It's not worth it.
Control what we do and what we say and what we laugh at. And
I mean, what are you doing this to South Park? You know, because they pulled that episode on the Muslim episode with the Muhammad character. You know, they censored that. You know, oh, but it's just major corporations. You know, like this is something new that's happening.
That to me is wrong on every single level. These corporations are defining the pussification of America.
Daniel, I need you to understand something. Being a pussy is what you do every day. Being a responsible adult is realizing that people's lives is more important than releasing a stupid comedy movie that nobody is really going to care about in 1 year from now. Alright? Now clear the sand from your vagina and act like a grown adult. Alright? Thank you.
My name is Daniel Solzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. If you visit Jack of All Trades, you can find these awesome comic book t-shirts. They have
evil corporations, while Mr. Repzion whores himself out during a video where he denounces evil corporations. I'm feeling something here. Feels like irony, almost, but not quite. This is incredible. Mr. Repzion, Daniel, you're an idiot, alright? Please try to actually think through a situation and go through both sides, seeing why Sony would make this decision as a business, as opposed to your childish reactions and knee-jerk reaction to this situation. You are retarded. I'm sorry. That's my diagnosis.